Unloading. First steps on Sakhalin land, on Sakhalin sand. That's it, I'm officially on the island. Thank you very much, Dmitry, for helping with the crossing. Well, now let's explore Sakhalin. So I got to Pogibie by hitchhiking for the first time in my travel career. An unusual feeling. It's fun to do something for the first time. For the first time I traveled by water transport completely for free. Great. What is Pogibie? There are literally 5 houses, 5 wagons. That's all. The most interesting thing is that it's 120 kilometers from here to civilization, to the federal highway. Today is Saturday and the car will be on Tuesdays, so you can understand. It's on Tuesday anyway, but maybe earlier. Time here will drag on forever. Okay, the main thing is that there is electricity, and I have a guitar. And Banya again! In Russia we can't go without Banya. We are getting in. Good, fine. Now let's make plus 100 Celsius here and it will be great. Thank you to these guys for the invitation to the Banya. Well steamed, now I'm fresh. And now let's arrange a cultural and entertainment evening for the local population of 5 people. Good afternoon, today is the 19th day of the trip. I'm fresh, full of strength and energy to make further adventures and exploits. In general, the story is: I was advised to walk 18 or 20 kilometers to the next checkpoint, a certain ninth checkpoint, which belongs to Rosneft. Here the guys service the pipe through which oil is pumped, and they said that there might be a fuel truck from there. Why did the story start? Because from here to normal highway is 120 kilometers and only workers go here. Who is lucky? Before that, a guy waited for a car for 1 day, another guy waited for 2 days, but I won't waste any time and go to the ninth checkpoint. It will probably be easier to get from there, or maybe not. The sand here is unmeasured, as if on beach. Well, go ahead. There are still a few more hours to go. Probably already everyone from every island told me that Sakhalin is full of bears. As they say, if you're afraid of wolves, you'll not go to the forest. But in my case, if you're afraid of bears, you not go to the forest. I'm walking parallel to the bear traces. Honestly, it's scary. But there is hope that it's summer now and the bears are full, because there is enough food. Fish, ants, but anything may happen. I'm looking at these footprints and getting scared. I hope everything will be okay. I walked 3.5 kilometers, to the nearest human point is 16.5 kilometers. I hope without stopping I will reach it in 4 hours. In 1 hour and 45 minutes I walked 9 kilometers, almost all the way. I got good speed, good pace. The road is flat and allows me to walk at an average walking speed. The bear traces have ended and now a section of marshy taiga has begun. All the time you have to look under your feet because it's dirty. However, you know this is a good option because 2 days ago it was raining here and somehow it got dry in 2 days while the sun is shining. Huge puddle. Are we going to swim across it now? Or what? No, we are not swimming, we are crossing. Oh, I'm going to shit now. Damn fucking swamp. Gugmire, oh! Guys, I am in a swamp. Russia. These are our territories. Oh, whoa, whoa. Great. I hope that I will get to this ninth checkpoint and wash my clothes there, because I don't wanna walk around dirty. Oops! I almost fell. I've decided to record a small update. It took 2 hours and 40 minutes and I have walked 14 kilometers. The bloodsuckers are taken, the gnats are... I'm covered with my own blood. If I have to walk only 20 kilometers, then I have only 6 left. And this is just 1 hour and 20 minutes. Let's tell you why I am going to Sakhalin this way. Now there is an epidemic in the world and there are stupid restrictions in many regions and in many countries. In Russia, restrictions have not remained in all regions, but Sakhalin is one of the most stringent. To get here, you need to have either a local residence permit or relatives. 2 ways to get here, either by ferry or by plane, but in both cases you will be required to provide a certificate that you don't have coronavirus. To make this certificate, you need to spend time and money. I decided to go the other way, to go through the village of Lazarev. Here you don't need to show a certificate to anyone, you just sail in across the Amidst Strait and that's it. And you don't have to show the invitation to anyone too, but it has its drawbacks. You have to stop and wait for transport for a very long time. Few people take this route, but recently the flow of tourists here has been adjusted. In the past week I am the third person to cross the strait in this way and end up on the island. Local guys are totally shocked, and every year more and more people come. I was told about the cyclists who came here from Germany, about a guy and 2 girls. So, come yourself and support domestic tourism. Locals will be shocked more. And I have a big puddle again. As expected, I fell into a puddle and got wet through. Now I have to take off my wet socks. I don't know, maybe I should dry them or put clean ones on, but my sneakers are still wet. Probably I have to dry a little bit and then continue on my way. In the meantime, I'll have a little snack. It's also good. I'll make a small halt. I must look everywhere for the positives. Also, what are the advantages? Mosquitoes will eat me here. At one time, someone heard the phrase incorrectly: the farther into the forest, the more firewood. They originally said the farther into the forest, the more mosquitoes. However, one does not interfere with the second. There is really more firewood, but mosquitoes... You know, they chose only my left side, my left arm, my left shoulder and the left half of my neck. Am I only attractive on the left? On the whole way attractive? Another puddle, damn! It infuriates. How many of them are there? I ended up arriving at 5 PM. It turns out that in 4 hours I walked 20 kilometers on my 2 poor, worn-out legs. In fact, the speed dropped a little in the end, because there were puddles literally every 5 meters and I had to go around them. Thanks to the guys on the checkpoint, they gave me shelter. I'll stay here for the night, and tomorrow it seems like there will be a car until the next checkpoint. Nevertheless, I still have 100 kilometers to the road. Walking is a dubious pleasure, although if you wish you can walk in 2 days. But no, thanks. Good morning! Today is the 20th day of the trip, a small anniversary. There are at least 30 more days ahead, I suppose. Yesterday's assumption of the guys from Pogibby was justified. The fuel truck arrived the day before and we left in the morning. Unfortunately, the men were against filming with them, and my stories about this, they are probably afraid that the authorities will see and not pat on the head. Anyway, at 7:50 we already left. It's very difficult to move around. Before each puddle we slowed down. In 1 hour we traveled only 15 kilometers. I haven't been shaking like this in a long time. It's terrible. In any case, it's better to ride badly than to go well. 2 hours after the start, some problems began. It turned out to be a broken wheel. It took 2 hours to replace it. It seems that the move has become softer, it's no longer so swaying. So guys, think 4 times before making such cruises on the off-roads of Russia. I already, it turns out, drove about 500 kilometers in a row in such conditions. In some areas the speed reaches 30 kilometers per hour, but this is not for long. To be honest, the Tinkoff force is already fed up during this time. I want civilization. The closer to the civilization we are, the worse the road becomes. We passed several checkpoints, and at one of them we stopped and went to visit the workers, who treated us with fresh soup. With renewed vigor we moved forward. Oncoming cars have already begun to come across. These are poachers who illegally fish here. However, the driver said that the forester often comes here too. In general, the situation here is strange. Almost everywhere it's forbidden to fish, although there are a lot of fish. Locals complain that almost all reservoirs have been purchased. At 7 in the evening, we finally got to the asphalt, and at 8 I was already in the city. Good morning, today is the 21st day of the trip. I am in the city of Akhat, the northernmost city on Sakhalin island, and Alpha is located further south than Moscow. It's considered a northern territory with all the northern benefits. The city is small, let's take a quick look at it. I think 2 or 3 hours will be enough for us. A small, clean and most importantly cozy park, which is located near the city administration, near the House of Culture, in which there is what? That's right, a monument to the leader Lenin, because a monument to Lenin is located in every more or less populated city. It's great when in such a small town of only 20,000 people there is a real pedestrian street. Respect! I'm beginning to like Akha literally from the first seconds. The center is done well. I really like the graffiti in the back as well as the square in which I am. Great! The tile is painted perfectly, there is nothing to complain about. You know, Khabarovsk, and this is the last city that made a negative impression on me. There is a lot to learn here. Nice, clean, a small city. They could have done well and they did. What is stopping Khabarovsk? Okay, it's not about Khabarovsk, we are on Sakhalin. Let's discard the previous regions and study Sakhalin after all. Well, Akha in particular, well, Northern Sakhalin in this case. In terms of architecture, everything is ambiguous here. Here is a synthesis of styles. What do we have behind us? Some Soviet, filthy, dead buildings, right? And then there is modern. City of contrast, not otherwise. Akha is a northern city and is characterized by various northern features. Look, all the houses are painted in light colors. What is it for? So that in winter, when it's dark and the sun briefly comes out in these parts in winter, so that light comes from the houses and somehow pleases the eyes of local residents, guests and tourists. The city, of course, is not a tourist one, but you never know, suddenly someone like me will come in the winter and be happy. Light colors are used not only in Akha, not only in Russia, but also abroad. For example, I saw this in Scandinavia. And in Russia, this can be seen in Murmansk, Vorkuta, probably somewhere else. I haven't yet been to other northern places. And in Salihar too. Good morning, today is the 22nd day of the trip, exactly 3 weeks behind. I am very excited. There is a lot of things ahead. I am still in Akha. This morning I had a melancholic mood and I decided to play the piano a bit. It was raining outside the window and now the sun is shining, and I have approached the last attraction for me, which is worth seeing. This is the monument to the narrow gauge railway which existed until 2007. Monument of history. Steam locomotive PT4524. Guys, it's a shame that they dismantled the railway. The branch went from Akha to Nogliki. I'm a big fan of railroads, you all know that. How could you disassemble the piece of iron? By the way, it was considered the slowest narrow gauge railway in the world. Isn't it beautiful? I want to ride it. Now I am going towards Nogliki. There is little traffic on the road, but this is not the main thing. The main thing is that there are pleasant views around. Not hot, cool, just what we need. Oh, the car is coming, let's slow it down. We do the same thing with old cars, we slow them down. I have already said that 20,000 people live in Akha, and it's not surprising that there are few cars from here. There are only two villages for the next 160 kilometers, Tungor and Val. Moreover, the distance between Tungor and Val is 120 kilometers, and not a single soul around. A small section of the road is paved, and the quality is quite good. We were able to accelerate to 120 kilometers per hour. By the way, a large percentage of the population here are migrants. The driver who picked me up is from Uzbekistan. He now has a wife and several children. Well, in general, let's get to the lyrics. I'm going to south, and this road is the only one that connects the north and south of the island. The road was only recently started to be made, so very significant pieces of it are either in the sand or in the primer. Local drivers say that such a road is much better than what it was just a couple of years ago. During this trip I observed the roads, and it seems that soon the jokes about the lack of roads in Russia will disappear. Look how everything changes. Or they won't. Wait and see. Speed limits look very funny. Seriously? Whoever installed them thought they were driving faster than 60 km per hour on these roads? In general, we wish this road to quickly become a German autobahn. The first transit point is the village of Val. Here I have a transplant, I will catch a new car. Village is provincial, it seems that there are 2 or 3 streets and this is it. In fact it is, I looked at the maps. It's interesting that at the entrance to the village the asphalt begins and at the exit it ends immediately. The traffic is dead. What do you expect? In general, the north of Sakhalin is about development of natural resources. There is a lot of oil here and accordingly a lot of oil workers. And now it's not a transit stop but a full-fledged one. I arrived at the Dugin Thermal Springs. Please choose any according to temperature. 44, 42, 38. This spring is called Patriot. Since I'm traveling in Russia and the video is quite patriotic, I'll swim here in Patriot. The temperature is measured daily, the data is fresh. Let's go swimming. I've come in, warm, great. After the harsh Sakhalin weather, warming up here is the most thrill. It's felt that the water is saturated with various useful minerals. It's cool that the springs are cultivated and completely free. So respect! You can swim in any weather, in the most bad weather. When it rains, when it snows, snowstorms. In these covered tents there is a dressing room. It's not worth it that everyone baths here in turn and they go inside only after knocking. Nice. When bathing, be careful, because after 3 minutes or 5 you can boil. It was difficult for me to breathe after 2 minutes. By the way, various diseases are treated here. Bone, skin, genital, inflammatory, and indeed all sorts of different ones. Cool place, guys. Come swim, but don't overdo it. I recommend. The place is quite popular, because people come here to spend the night and put up tents. I think it's a good way to spend the weekend. And my car is waiting for me. We are rushing at a speed of 85 km per hour, thanks to Anton for picking me up and waiting while I bathed in the springs. These are the kind people in Sakhalin. Thanks a lot, Anton. Welcome. Roads on Sakhalin is a separate conversation. It seems like this is a federal road from Akha to Yurno-Sakhalinsk, but in fact asphalt is far from everywhere. A lot of sand and soil inserts. When do they promise to make the road? In a year or 2? No, they'll definitely do it for another 5 years. 5 years! Guys, come here while there is an option to ride on the sand on Sakhalin. Otherwise, there will be asphalt everywhere and it will not be so interesting. There will be no more adventures. That's for sure. And here is my first meeting with the Sakhalin Railway. This is a unique object. I will definitely return to this topic in future videos. I have arrived in Tinkoff, where I have an overnight stay. So see you tomorrow. I'll tell and show you everything, and we'll go to see new cool places. See you.